gentlemen, introduce the president of the club, Mr. Ryan Walter. Ryan?
Yeah, I'm just going to start off with a real thanks, certainly to our coaching staff. The trainers, they often get forgotten. Our training staff and our players. I think this season, the key component that people come for is to see a great team, and this year we had an excellent team. I'm very thankful for that. From an off-ice community point of view, we're very thankful for the connection that our players, on-ice players and coaches have with our community. And so I'm just starting off by saying thank you, and wide open to questions.
Year one on the job, Ryan. Walk us through being a president of an American League club. It's different, and it's part of a really big portfolio you put together. How did you enjoy it?
Yeah, you know what? I enjoyed it very much. I like learning curves. For whatever reason in my lifetime, I like to learn, and I like to be challenged. And this is a big challenge. This is, I would say, something that is off ice, not on ice, but off ice. I don't think we found our stride yet. I think that this greater community is in a place where we need to find the mechanism to connect with a number of our people, and that's our job. So I see it as a big challenge. I've really enjoyed it. There are a lot of components to, with our executive meetings, we often say this is a very complex small business. It has a lot of stakeholders, and with those stakeholders, you have to. I think that my context is that you manage things and you lead people, and this job is going to push my leadership to the limit.
Talk about finding different mechanisms to connect with the community. What do you?
Yeah, well, Dan, we need to. I'm a little bit like Troy Ward. I don't like to deal with things that we can't control. And I'm not going to say that we haven't figured out this community. It's up to us to figure this community out. This is a community that is a spectacular community. We have 1 million people in the valley here, and every one of them should be a Heat fan. And that's the way that we need to view this. There are some mechanisms. I like to call them mechanisms. Our team, our off-ice team, calls them mechanisms. How do we get people in the building sort of independent of the great game that's on the ice? And that's really going to be our summer, figuring out. And I think some of the people saw throughout the year that we focused in on theme games. So, a Punjabi night, or, a Canadian Forces night, Pink in the Rink night. Like, I think there's got to be more of, there's a great game of hockey on, but more that sort of invites a hockey fan. Maybe the wife's a hockey fan, and maybe I'll turn it around here. The husband isn't. Well, why would that husband come to our game and spend time in our building? And so guest experience, we call it the incredible guest experience, and that's what we're going to find out. We're going to find out what that incredible guest experience is for every fan here in the Valley.
The attendance numbers for those last two home games in the playoffs.
Yeah, those numbers were tough. What I would say, we're talking about the attendance numbers for the last two games of the second round. I would say this, that, as I talk to my peers around the AHL, numbers are down in the second round. I don't know why. Obviously, we have a big meeting at the end of June, and I'll probably be asking everyone that was in the playoffs what happened, why are the numbers down. I think I saw. Was it Chicago that had 1,700 people in their building? That's unbelievable for Chicago, who normally has 17,000 people in their building. So the numbers were down. That's not an excuse for us. We need to continue to find ways to create the mechanism that allows people to come in our building. I was very proud of a number of things that our people did, our team did. I'll point to one that we worked with the city on. We called it the Not-for-Profit Initiative. And we really pulled a lot of not-for-profit organizations into our building so that they could end up doing fundraisers with our tickets, and at the same time it grew our brand. One thing I would say, coming off the end of this season, is that I think the positivity towards our brand has increased, but there's a big but there. We've got to continue. It's got a long ways to go. We need every family in the Valley to say, oh yeah, there's a Heat game tonight, let's go, instead of not knowing if there's a Heat game and not wanting to go.
Was there more that was done this year?
Yeah, I won't look backwards. Tom and his crew did a wonderful job. I think, and sometimes I don't think we honor the people that were here before us. I think there's a story, there'd be a great movie, I think it's called 88 Days, by the time that this franchise was conceived, and then there was 88 days to get pucks on the ice and play a game. So Tom and his team deserve a lot of credit. I will say this, that I asked for the number here recently, and I think we are up over 460 events that our players, coaches, team, management, street team, mascot, the whole crew of us have generated in the Valley here since August. So we're proud of that, and it's something that we have to continue to do. We need to give first so that people will give back to us. The simple process of reciprocity, I don't think this is a complex thought, but I think it's the least that we need to do.
Hey, Brian, Cam Tucker here from the Vancouver Sun. That meeting in June, is that between executives from the 30 teams across the league?
That's correct, Cam.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to clarify, thanks.
Yep, yeah, and it's in Hilton Head, so it's not so bad.
Ryan, you talked about bringing Troy Ward as head coach and the process that you went through to get him.
Yeah, actually, Stevie, we end up not having a lot of influence there, because a lot of people complain about the Calgary component of playing in the Valley, which is a Canuck area. I think we should talk about that more. I don't think that's something that we don't talk about. It's reality. And I want to say this at this news conference, we are very thankful for people like Troy Ward that Calgary provides us. They provide all staff, all players, and the great team that you saw on the ice, the great coaching staff you saw here, comes from Calgary's initiatives. So we have a little bit of influence from an ownership position. Our owners have a little bit of influence on free agents and the amount of money that they want to spend in that area. But other than that, it's all Calgary. So give them credit for that.
You talk about the Canucks organization. You've been with both organizations, the Flames and the Canucks, in the past. What's the biggest difference, or is there a significant difference between the two?
I wouldn't say that I could look at apples and apples. Like, I haven't been inside the Flames organization for a season. Really, this is a much different organization, but NHL, AHL, there is a big difference. And it's interesting. One of the things that I've learned, Ryan asked me at the beginning, what did you learn? One of the things I've learned is there's NHL expectations with an AHL budget.
Some of our listeners, groups, when they've talked about the attendance numbers, have commented that Abbotsford is a Canucks town, but not a hockey town. Can you comment on that?
Well, that could be true initially. One of the things that we found this year, and it was very exciting, is that once the outer crust, I say the outer crust, there's this group inside our building. Let's spend a minute honoring them. Our season ticket holders are committed to us and are amazing. Amazing people. And we have, I think, built added on to a community inside that is very special. We have a number of our people that we personally know that are going through cancer struggles right now. And our deep desire is that we walk through, some of these things with them. Like, this is not just a place where you come watch hockey. This is a place where you come and have community. So I would say that the inside group is incredibly loyal, loves what we do, and is amazing What we need to do is bring in, we call the outer crust, and then the outer crust sort of sits outside of our building and says, I'm not sure I'm going to go in there. Once people come in, they stay. It's as simple as that. We've actually had a number of people come up to me and said, you know, this year, for whatever reason, I came to a game, I came to a couple games, I brought my family, and I've just bought a season ticket. Right? Like that is, so it's really, that's why I say it's up to us. We really need to continue to get out and invite people into this great experience. The other thing that I've learned this year is that this is not a hockey. This is not hockey. This is not about hockey. I say that very carefully. We're at a news conference talking about hockey. This is about the experience of hockey. You know, it's how do you feel independent of our team winning and losing. And so we've got to, you know, there's lots to figure out here. I think our team has done a nice job figuring out some of it. We've got to take the next steps on it.
There's not that many sports radio stations that cover the Heat. Is that something you guys are going to be looking to get out there?
Absolutely, great question. We're always looking to make sure that we're relevant. There's the key word. And to be relevant, we need to have more connection on sports radio. I think the other thing is, though, that we're in a place where we need to sort of find out where are our fans and go to them, as compared to sort of being places and asking our fans to go to us.
Brian, you and your wife, you've raised a family. How much of the learning process from raising a family has transposed over into raising a hockey team?
I don't think there's any difference, Steve. I think, it's funny. You're right. I have aha moments at times. I think maybe the family raises me, because I think I grow, with our family. We've had a couple of our kids this year go through very difficult times, and the way that they've handled it and the grace under which they've handled it has been amazing. Jenny and I are in that fun time. We have, Ben at 28 and our little Emma's 17. We have kids, 5 kids in sort of between 28 and 17. Jen and I sit at the dinner table now and we don't talk. We just listen. Like, it's spectacular. These are wonderful young people that we're learning from, and I think there is a direct connection. Really, Steve, we have 2 teams. We have an on-ice team that you see, and we sort of, I've been very careful, especially with Ben being here, to, just stay out of Troy's way. I've offered no advice. I don't come in and say, hey, you should be doing this in the power play, and why aren't we taking face-offs this way? Our coaching staff coaches. I learned that a long time ago from my time in Montreal. And then, we have our off-ice team, which I am directly responsible for. So if something goes wrong off-ice, that's my responsibility. I'm accountable for that. So it's been a fun year just figuring out the connections. Like, there are a lot of stakeholders here in Abbotsford. Not only the Calgary Flames, our off-ice team, the ownership component, the city of Abbotsford, and I think making sure that those stakeholders feel like they're connected and then have impact has been very important. So that's a little bit like a family, trying to make sure that each of the little, components of your family are very different and are taken care of.
You see players like Leland Irving going up to the National League and making a real impact right from the start. It's got to make you proud.
We're very proud of all of the players here, absolutely. I think we had, was it around 12 Delaney players go up and down around there this year? You guys would have the number over me, but we're really excited when players go up. It's a funny business that way. It's when you get good here, you leave, and we're excited about that. Like, it's sort of weird, actually, but it's why we live, and it's why we are an American Hockey League team, right? We're very proud of Leland. We're excited about his first win. We're very excited about his little daughter. And I think that's part of the community that Troy talks about. We try to make sure that we're focused not only on the player but on the person.
Do you ever have talks with, say, around the league, say a team like Hershey, who gets 8,000-9,000 a game, and get some advice or some thoughts from them on what they do that works, maybe part of the fact they've been around for 60 years?
Hershey and Chicago are good examples for us, but I'm careful to make sure that we're looking at it from apples to apples. Hershey is, I think, what have they been in the league? 400 years now, I think, is it? And I'm just kidding. Chicago, what, 18 years now? Like, they're brands, and I think we go back to the brand. For me, the brand is not what it looks like. The brand is not the Calgary Heat. The brand is, how do you feel about our product? And I think that, their brands are very strong. They've spent a lot of time independent of, you've got Vancouver and Chicago right now. And Mike Gordon, the president there, complains that, people are upset that they're Vancouver players. Does that sort of sound like something you've heard around here? And so, like, their brand overcomes that, though. And Chicago's had one of their best years ever. So I think that the brand, the Abbotsford Heat brand, must continue to develop, and that's something that we'll keep our eye on. And when we're in the community 460 plus times since August, that's all about us doing what we know around developing a brand. If I come to your school, or if hockey comes to your school, you feel good about him giving to the school, you're going to feel better about our brand, and you're going to say, listen, I'm going to come down and support that brand. So we're on a big learning curve in that area.
Ryan, can you talk about working close with the minor hockey organization in Abbotsford?
Thanks.
Surrounding area.
Yeah, thanks, Steve. It's one of I think that's one of my proudest moments here, is that minor hockey is critical to the Abbotsford Heat, and we want to be critical to minor hockey. And so we've had actually our not-for-profit process raised, this is outside of 50-50, raised upwards of, and I'm going to get the number wrong, but I know it's over $40,000. I think it's closer to 60 for minor hockey this year. So where parents didn't have to write a check for tournaments and for ice time, minor hockey was able to come into our building, enjoy the game, and take a portion of that ticket price and use it for their benefit. So, 50-50s, not-for-profit programs. Our coaches did a spectacular job. I don't know if you know this, but Troy twice moved his practice time from 11 in the morning to 6 at night so that minor hockey coaches could come in this building and watch practice, see the practice plan, and then spend an hour and a half with our coaching staff on how did you create skill development in that practice. Our players and our coaches have been on minor hockey teams outside of this building running practices. So we're thrilled about our connection with minor hockey. We'll continue it, we'll strengthen it, we'll develop it. Trevor Bamford, the president of Abbotsford Minor Hockey, and I have developed a tremendous relationship, and our goal is to expand that next year.
What's the top of your wish list going into next year?
Well, Steve, about 100 things. I mean, no, I'm serious. We've got a lot of thinking to do. I'm not happy to be out of the playoffs. I like Ben and Quentin and Leland and Troy. Thought that we could have. This is a year that we could have gone farther. I won't be happy until we win that cup, and that's why we play. On the other hand, it does give us some time to reflect. And over the next two weeks, we're going to do a complete evaluation of who we are and what we did and what we need to do better.
You had a lot of success with that school day game. Is that going to be something you're going to try and do again?
Absolutely. School day game will be in. I'd like to do 10 of them. I'm just kidding. Would you guys like to come at 10:30 in the morning for games? But my point is, we do know this, that the kids are our future. Not only future fans, we hope future players, future executives in this organization. Some young person in high school is going to take my job one day, and I'm going to be excited about that. Those kids in school. The other thing I love to say about kids in school and our school day is they don't pay taxes, so they don't care about the number, and they love the Heat. Throughout all schools, I have never seen such a love for the Abbotsford Heat, and so we will do as many connections with schools as we can. The school day will be in. Thanks, everybody.